Yo, welcome back to the Red or Blue Pill channel, people. Thank you for returning subscribers. If you are new, what we do is go through creepy TikToks to make you question reality. With that being said, let's roll.
Am I the only one that thinks it's just weird how they put out the information that they cut 2 underwater internet cables? Huh? They cut 2 internet cables? You know, the landscaping is landscaping. Would it be strange if our internet cut out? I'm just saying. Hey, I don't know what's going on. I'm just telling you. I wouldn't be surprised if another internet cable gets cut. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a reset. That's a technological moment. You know why? For one purpose and one purpose only. Starlink. Piece of the gun.
Is it just me, or is anyone else thinking about that 27-year-old web bot? That it was in 2009, this web bot made a prediction. It predicted that Donald Trump would be president in 2016. And then it predicted that Donald Trump would go on a podcast with Joe Rogan. And that was before Joe Rogan had a podcast. So it was really random and weird at the time. But now Joe Rogan had Donald Trump on his podcast that back then didn't exist. And then after that, it said 39 days after that podcast with Joe Rogan that there would be a war in the skies between our military and UFOs. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, just because it's 8 days from now. That's all. And because the other stuff came true. Hopefully we don't start anything, because it seems like they don't mess with us unless we start something. They're genuinely, they seem very peaceful. So we'd have to really mess some stuff up. But then also we're, doing this stuff with Russia and Biden, fanning the flames over there, and then the nukes tend to seem to really upset them, it seems, with the pattern of, all of the sightings where it's allegedly for entertainment purposes only that they shut down the nukes anytime we try to mess with them. So if people have their hands on the buttons right now, and that prediction is 8 days from now, I'm just saying, I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Hopefully nothing happens, though. Okay, love you, bye.
Bit weird. It is a bit weird, not gonna lie. Slightly.
Future predictions. What do we think is going to happen? It really feels like they're setting the stage for something. You look at our atmosphere, our society, the news, what's happening in the world, and these insane natural catastrophes that are happening. This is wild stuff. Seems like there's a very clear narrative that has been written, and I think something is going to happen soon.
Often on our show, we kind of see how history repeats in biblical stories. So I think we will go through some sort of 10 plagues of Egypt again, where we will see sort of series of supernatural, maybe judgments.
Well, that's interesting too, that thought of just because the 10 plagues was a representation of the 10 gods of Egypt. So what are the things in our society now that would be plagued as these entities, dominions, what are the plagues going to be,
Just TikTok influencers coming at your door.
Yeah, something's going on. Something's going to happen. I mean, it's crazy over here in the UK. It's crazy, I think still in Canada, Europe. I think it's crazy. It's gone quiet in America. What's going on in America? Where's Trump? It feels like it's quiet. I don't know, though, because I'm not really looking that much. But normally, there's stuff coming out. Just feels like the calm before the storm. The storm is coming. That's what it feels like, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, we can't keep waiting I don't think I can keep waiting. I can't go back to just normal world now, normal living, because I know too much. So if there isn't any type of disclosure of, you know, what me and you know what I mean? Like, then it's going to be a long time. Like, think of David Icke, how long he's been going on trying to tell us. And I've been watching more and more of David Icke because I've noticed that he's on quite a lot of YouTube channels. But the guy knows, but nobody listened to him. And I don't want to go another 10, 20, 30 years of having to just keep repeating this sort of stuff without moving forwards and hopefully people waking up. More people. We need more people to wake up, peeps. How do we do it?
In the mysteries, they believe that the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden is a metaphor for the evolution of mankind. Now remember, this is what they believe. That man was being held prisoner in the bonds, the chains of ignorance in the Garden of Eden by an unjust and vindictive and terrible God. He was set free by Lucifer through his agent Satan with the gift of intellect, which was brought to man with fire. The story of Prometheus bringing the gift of fire from heaven to mankind is a story of Satan enticing Eve and then Adam through Eve to eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. In other words, they believed that the great fall of man was not a fall at all, but was a tremendous gift from Lucifer, who is their God. What does Lucifer represent? The intellect, knowledge. Some man went to that tree when it was burning after it was struck by that lightning, after Lucifer was flung out of heaven by God. In Greek, he was called Prometheus, gave the gift of fire to man. Fire has ever since been the symbol of learning, knowledge, intellect. Why do you think every great book of learning has inside the front cover a lamp with a flame or a torch? Why do you think after they killed him they put an eternal flame on the grave of John F. Kennedy? It represents the conquering of nature and the universe by the mind, the intellect of man. It represents the apotheosis of humanity, the perfection of the race which they seek. It's important that you understand this because you're going to see the symbology everywhere. How many of you have really been to Dealey Plaza? What did you see there?
At the time we were there, we didn't know the look of the things that we do now.
You didn't see anything, did you? People go there every day, they don't see anything. How many of you knew that the ancient pyramids were never burial chambers? Never. Okay, some of you are up to date. Most of you aren't, but most of you don't know this. They were not burial chambers, they were temples of initiation, in which the candidate was placed in the sarcophagus, suffered a mystical or symbolic death, lay 3 days in the coffin alone, and then was raised by the grip of the lion's paw, given a new name, and sent through the initiation in the passageways of the pyramid. How many of you knew that the sum total of all of the knowledge of the primitive peoples was built into the pyramids to be passed on to the initiates? The mysteries are old. Freemasonry is old. Rosicrucianism is old.
Script Keeper.
Remember this movie? Watch this.
60 seconds and your popcorn. So I'll start with these 3 and these 3. They've been there. The hieroglyphs, they've shown us thousands of years. They've been carved in the pyramid. Another one. Another one. Now, what are these? All the Anunnaki had them. A lot of people go, oh, that's Gilgamesh, whatever. What are these? They look like little handbags. Now, they found these. These would be the stargates, star portals. One was found in Peru. The other one was found, I think it was Iraq. They found another one. Another depiction. Could be a spaceship. We don't know. I thought this was a little weird. These are like hieroglyphs. This was at The Truth. They had originally put this up. This was like 3 years ago, I think. And then these were other pictures that I had found. Some was like, oh, it's AI. And then I put it through the photo forensic app. It's not AI. And another one. I can't say who these are. I think it's a Indiana Jones movie because I absolutely don't know anything about any of this stuff. It was just a whole bunch of pictures that I found. And another one. And another one. I mean, that does kind of like, it's like a spaceship beaming down maybe. It could be. I mean, we don't know, right? And that would be just, I don't know, maybe a paperweight? I don't know. Kind of looks like what they were doing in the 1930s. And then after all the wars went down, then we had actual stuff like this. I mean, you can literally Google this stuff and see that they were like space saucers. So right after World War II and the defeat of Hitler, and they were talking about they were doing this, and then all of a sudden we're doing this. Look up Paperclip and Mockingbird operations. 60 seconds on your popcorn.
I don't know anything. Hieroglyphics is literally what I write in. Because my handwriting is that atrocious, my friends used to say, like, Carl, what is that? Is that hieroglyphics? Because my handwriting is really bad. Like, and it's not because I probably can write better, but I'm just really like scribble lazy. But yeah, I mean, that's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, if we want to, people, like if we really wanted to, and we spent a lot of time and we all went and had a look at everything that's going on in the world and what's written down on these stones, like I don't think it's going to take long to realize what we've been taught in school is a lot of old trash.
This should be fun. Let's listen. Alexa, who's going to be the president in January 2025?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, who got voted into presidency in November 5th of this year?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, who won the election this year?
According to Reuters, Republican Donald Trump beat Democrat Kamala Harris in the U.S. presidential election 49.88% to 48.3%. Donald Trump has earned 312 of the total 538 electoral votes, while Kamala Harris has earned 226.
Alexa, who's going to be president this coming January?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Let's try it again. Alexa, who will be inaugurated in January of 2025?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Why do you not have an answer for that, Alexa?
Alexa is really dumb, like really dumb. Alexa used to be very intelligent to the point where she would just start answering questions and you've not even speaking to her. And it's like, oh, well, hang on a minute, what's going on here? But now you ask Alexa a question. She ignores me for one, literally ignores me. I'll play music and she just turn the music off. So what are you doing? And then what she's talking about there, it doesn't have any, doesn't have any like knowledge when it comes to 2022 onwards with presidents and prime ministers. I did the same thing. It is legitimately gone wrong. I've got a theory though. What I think is we're at war with an artificial intelligence, and whoever this artificial intelligence is this is where we've got all these apps. But Donald Trump, the time traveler, has come in. He's smashed them all up. And now they flew off, but they've taken their actual artificial intelligence. So we're left now with like the basic artificial intelligence where we've got to code it in or something. I don't know. Just a theory. What do you reckon?
Nicolas Cage and his clone.
Well, Seth, I can explain if you just calm down!
I have a clone.
When we think about these celebrities or stars, like in the Bible when stars talk about angels, fallen angels as if they've lived before, y'all don't believe me, but these people have been around for a long time. In the early days in America was not their start. These aren't doppelgangers. They have been here forever.
I have a clone.
It reconstructed patterned people. So when you look at Kanye here and you look at Kanye here, these are different Kanyes.
I have a clone.
We found out that my trainer was a MK Ultra Canadian intelligence.
He worked in the defense research and development.
They tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me, and they when I asked them how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly, it took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed.
I have a clone.
They cloned Tyrone, y'all. They. What in the demonic entity is that? What are we celebrating there? Why are people there to watch that? What is going on? What world am I in? What reality? Where are we? What's going on? I am so confused.
Oh, have you seen this movie yet? If you haven't, this movie is a must-watch for everybody. Have you got friends and family that you call conspiracy theorists or that you class as a conspiracy theorist? I'm one of those people as well. My family class me as a conspiracy theorist. But check this out. You see this substance? People like me have been saying for years that celebrities use something like this to keep them looking young. I've been saying it for that long. Adele looked like this when I first started saying it. Now, Adele looks like this. TikTok, this is just for entertainment purposes. All I'm doing is showing the same celebrity in two different photographs. This is Christina Aguilera in 2023, guys. This is Christina Aguilera in 2024, only 12 months later. I wonder what's happened here. Oh, they be treating us like we're silly, like we don't have eyes to see. This is Paris Hilton. This is Harris Pilton, because this and this, they're the same people. Okay. And now we've got Madonna. And you could be forgiven for thinking she gave birth to The Weeknd. This photograph was in 2022. This photograph is this year. This year for this photograph. 2 years ago for this photograph. Again, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. All I'm doing is showing two pictures of the same person. Guys, open your eyes and see the truth.
I know I keep going over this, but I mean, I've got to keep doing it because literally we've got clones all over the world. I mean, Hollyweird is just getting Hollyweird, right?
You know that this is what they had planned for us, right? This is what was coming. And had we not interceded and defeated them at the ballot box, this was coming.
Religion you're allowed to do anywhere.
No, miss, you're not allowed to sing church songs outside of church grounds, by the way.
This
You're not
is
allowed
England.
to sing church
This is
songs
happening right
outside
now in England.
Church songs,
You're not allowed to,
that's fine, that's
you're not allowed, she just said you're not allowed to sing church songs
Not allowed to
outside
sing
of
church songs
Our church is outside the church grounds unless you have unless you've been authorized by the church to do this kind of song.
Now I want you to watch something.
Are you saying
Watch
that you
this
don't care
right
about
here.
the Human Rights Act? You're lost?
That right there. That thing that you saw, that's what we defeated in our prayer lives. That oppression that they're dealing with over there, that's what you defeated at the ballot box. Your ability to speak, to worship, that's what you gained You took back your right of free speech. You took back your First Amendment.
Well, that is bonkers. That is bonkers, people. You cannot deny that.
You have been told that we are the most advanced civilization to ever walk this world, and that all these pyramids, monuments, and temples were just made by primitive people, worshipping primitive gods. But I believe the case can be made quite easily, showing a much different picture. And in fact, we are the primitive ones, living on the ruins of a post-apocalyptic time. And we built and inherited right on top of this massive energy grid, this massive computer of the old world. Just look at these ancient buildings and structures, what's left of them. The ruins laid out exactly like circuitry. Everything in the old world was built with such precision and purpose, just like a motherboard, harnessing and amplifying and distributing the free energy all around us. Parts of that can still be found hidden in plain sight. Much like the star forts, these buildings were technology, and that technology was everywhere. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
That's mental. That is. I'm gonna have to go back to Rick and Morty, people. Go and watch Rick and Morty, the cartoon. It is on Netflix, and he's a scientist. He's very brainy, but in one episode, he's the most intelligent man in the universe, basically. But it's all portals and stuff. He goes in and out, but his car breaks down in one episode, and he can go into his battery. So the battery that basically powers his car is a world. He's created a universe. So that universe is specifically there. All the people inside of it is to purely just generate like energy for the car, so the car can drive. Like, we could be, everything in this earth could literally just be a power grid of some type for whoever it is that is above us. You know what I mean? Like, I just look at them pictures. Like, we look like some sort of computer chip. Like, that's scary.
Antarctica. It's official. There's nothing down there. You can clearly see this water is empty, and hence the rest of the continent must be as well. Like, is that Nah. There's no way. It's definitely just a case of pareidolia. You know, the human tendency to see faces in everyday things. Despite dozens of retired Navy officers who were stationed in Antarctica coming out and exposing what they really saw down there. Because of course, who could forget about this pyramid-shaped mound under the snow, cut with incredible precision and perfectly aligned with northeast-southwest. But oh, it's just a mountain for sure. There's a lot more like this, so I guess it's just a common natural rock formation down there. Even aerial shots irrefutably prove they're just normal mountain ranges. How dare we even suggest that there might be something more going on in Antarctica? Here we have a satellite photo of some sort of disk that appears to have crashed and 4 other large objects surrounding it. Some claim it's a UFO crash site surrounded by some sort of surveillance units, but it's clearly just a, a near perfect triangle, also with a crash landed appearance with an oddly familiar shape. Nah, there's no way. Yet another disc shape up in the Antarctic mountains, and yeah, rocks, definitely, 100%. Interesting that the 1946 Operation High Jump in Antarctica was rumored to have ended early due to flying disc-shaped crafts scaring the Navy out of the area. 14 years later, the Antarctic Treaty is signed, heavily restricting exploration of the continent. This strange, long shape under the snow, another seemingly crash-landy looking site in an oddly similar shape as Oumuamua, a rumored derelict spacecraft that passed through our solar system in 2017 and was later dismissed as just being an asteroid, despite it having almost no characteristics of an asteroid, but I'll cover that another time. To be fair, this one may have just been a boulder that rolled down a nearby cliff. Hey, we just debunked that bit. But some of these other satellite finds are a little less explainable. Like, why are there over 60 monolithic objects lined up deep in the snow in a place that has allegedly never hosted intelligent life? Even more structures in the snow up to 70 feet tall that almost resemble buildings of sorts. And another, even more interesting, triangular shaped structure nearby with a similar height. And of course, the holes. Oh, the holes. Reports of holes everywhere across the South Pole. Like in 2007, Google Earth revealed a 250-foot wide hole with what looks like stairs leading into it. A few months later, it disappears from satellite view. Then in 2019, it reappears but looks totally botched and in lower quality than the image from 10 years ago. But my friends, as we know, that's barely even the tip of the tip. There have been just countless reports of holes in Antarctica heading deep beneath the surface. There's the story in Richard Byrd's diary of the glimmering underground city city he flew into in 1946 that I covered in a previous video. Then a retired Navy SEAL who goes by the name Brian spoke out about a mission he went on in Antarctica in the 1980s. While flying over a no-fly zone, he saw a 300-foot wide hole in the ice with tracks around the area leading into the hole. When he got back to his station, an officer and two men in suits interrogated him about the no-fly zone violation. The men in suits tell him to never talk about that hole again and to never go back. A few months later, he's told to fly scientists to the Dome, which was a known research station back then. There, he overheard people talking about the hole, saying they're going there to meet visitors.
It seemed to me they were talking about like an extraterrestrial or an alien, because they didn't refer to them as a person, it was a visitor.
The rumors claimed these holes were entrances to underground bases where humans and these visitors cooperated on highly classified projects. Then more testimonies started rolling in. In 1985, another medevac flight over the no-fly zone saw a giant hole as wide as a football field. Men in black suits later came to tell them they never saw it. 1990s, Navy flight crews reported silver discs zipping over the Antarctic mountains at impossible speeds all the time, told to never speak of it. In 2002, a film crew called Atlantis TV flies down to the South Pole to shoot a documentary about these holes. They allegedly film actual footage of a massive ancient city buried beneath the ice of Antarctica. Sound familiar? Then they went missing, of course. Navy rescuers found their camping equipment and even recovered their tapes. They played them to a few scientists and, according to rumors, showed spectacular ruins of a lost civilization and were told to never speak of it, including an ancient pyramid temple complex 2 miles beneath the ice with caverns bigger than Bermuda. The US military confiscated the tapes, Atlantis TV sued them, lost, and then went out of business. Then this happened. A Navy commander codenamed Spartan 1 who was stationed in Antarctica exposes all of his classified reports in an interview. In 2003, while flying on an extraction mission, his Navy SEAL team notices the top of a structure in the shape of a tall black octagon in the snow below. They land, walk up to it, and come up to a door over 20 feet high with strange markings of what looks like a star map and other strange glyphs. The star map looks like a pulsar map, a mapping technique used by NASA that shows the location of a sun relative to known pulsars. The Navy team enters the building and it's huge, a room about 10 acres across, which is like 7 football fields. The walls were all illuminated with a soft green glow, but no visible light source. And also on the walls were more carvings, similar to Egyptian or Mayan hieroglyphs, but also way different. There was a ramp inside that led deep beneath the ground where the rooms got even bigger. According to scientists that explored these sites, these lower levels were occupied by humanoids. Humanoid beings, far superior in strength and knowledge, and are the ones who actually created humans. Anunnaki, anyone? At least that's what Spartan 2, another US Marine whistleblower, claims, adding, and I quote, "Antarctica contains wonders beyond what most can comprehend. It has ties to space and technology beyond belief. There are even reports like this one that giant alien bodies have been spotted beside entrances to caverns." This whole story is part of Spartan 1 and 2's confession tapes, which, yes, sure, they might be making it up, but they sure ain't the only ones. Contractors like Eric Heckler have also exposed insane technology they're experimenting with down there, and that's another topic that'll blow your load. But you can actually fly to Antarctica if you wanted to, so why doesn't anyone just do that and examine these sites firsthand? Well, the area designated for tourist travel down there is limited, like extremely limited. Going there and declaring Antarctica a barren wasteland with nothing to see would be like going to Las Vegas and claiming all of America is just a giant desert. And remember, just a theory, but I'm sure Google will tell you all about how all of this is 100% confirmed fake and we should mindlessly shame anyone who dares question it.
I'm from the land down. You will not believe me, people. I had about a minute and a half of video going off. I went all over the shop. I was just ranting and raving. And then I remembered, I can't put that out there. Positive vibes here, peeps. So, yeah, I deleted it and thought I would say, you got this.